And welcome into IceCats Insider once again, everybody. I'm Tom Callahan, voice of the IceCats, joined by head coach Gary Graham. A little coffee with the coach today. Well, at least I'm having coffee, Gary, as we sit down to talk a little bit about what's going on here in IceCats land. We've had a weird couple of weeks because, number one, out of the building with all the events that have come in, the motocross and the rodeo and et cetera, and then only one game on this weekend. Last weekend, inadvertently, only one game. This has kind of been a strange little stretch for you. First of all, I want to ask you, have you ever been through a period in your coaching career before where, because of the way events have fallen, you've only played twice in what is now basically 3 weeks?
No, it's a first for me. So we had a weird part of our schedule, remember, in November early on here, where we kind of only had, I think, 2 games over the course of 2 weeks, which was kind of goofy too. But yeah, this is weird because, you're trying to, the worst thing is when you're playing your best hockey, you want to be playing more, right? And
Right.
so I thought we've been playing our best hockey. I would have loved to play Athens that Saturday night game there after beating them on Friday night, because we know that we would have got a really good Athens team on Saturday night. It would have been a great test for us, for them to respond. And again, that's how you want to get your team better, is keep responding during more pressure situations, which that's would have been. And then, this past weekend, obviously only have the one game against Columbus and then only a couple practices this week. That makes it a little bit difficult. So, I think it's a double-edged sword. We're getting some guys some extra rest, which sometimes this part of the season is good. But then you take a game like Saturday night against Columbus where, there were so many penalties where you have a lot of your top guys aren't playing a lot, And so, if you got a Trevor Lord or a Lakoff, certain guys like that aren't really penalty killing. And then you had Patty out for 12 minutes for a 2 and a 10. Some of your guys that are in your top 6 that aren't playing a lot of minutes, that doesn't do your team any good either, right? So it just was a weird flow of the game with so many penalties and how the game kind of went. So, we would have loved to have another game, even on the Sunday, play right afterwards, because, of course, we were very disappointed. I was disappointed in myself to get kicked out of the game. I cost my team 2 penalties, one with the goal review, which I still feel like was the correct move at the time. It looked offsides to us. I still feel it was offsides, but that put us down 5-on-3. Fortunately, we got the kill on that one. But the one that I took, when I got kicked out of the game, they scored on, which is, it never makes you feel good as a coach like that. So, I apologize to the team afterwards. We all gotta be better. And even when the refs maybe aren't at their best, we got to control our emotions, whether we agree with them or not. And I think it's a good lesson for all of us to learn, myself included.
You told me before we started taping here that this is only the second time you've been kicked out. So I don't want you to talk about this time because obviously, I don't want to affect anything now. But what was the first time? What happened?
It was a game in Cincinnati, a rival, meaningful game, deeper in the season.
So you were with Fort Wayne.
Fort Wayne Comets, yep,
Okay.
in the ECHL. And there was a goal that Cincinnati scored where they got in on the forecheck and they slashed my defenseman that was first on the puck. They slashed his stick in half. So, of course, he has no stick. They get the puck on the turnover. They feed it right to the slot, and it's a goal. And it's the most obvious thing ever. When you guy gets slashed and his stick breaks in 2 pieces, it's almost an absolute given. You'd have to be a blind man not to call that, right? Well, they don't call it, and they score the go-ahead goal. And so I absolutely just lost my mind. They brought the stick to the bench, the broken stick. And I'm asking for my captain to tell the referee to come over. And I just happened to have the 2 pieces of broken stick in one of each of my hands when the ref comes over close to me on the bench. And here I am with these weapons, essentially nunchucks, just put it, swords like Michelangelo or something, you know what I'm saying? Like Ninja Turtles in my hands. And I'm pretty heated. And my face is probably looking ready to explode, and my hands are gripping these things. And literally, they kicked me out because the guy said that he thought I was threatening him with my body language, and I was talking to him like he was basically feared for his life, is basically what I ended up finding out after the game. So that's why I got kicked out. And, of course, I had to watch the game from where the Zamboni door came out the rest of the game. And we lost the game by a goal. And I was very disappointed. The challenging thing was I had no assistant coach on the bench. At least I had Nick this year. A lot of my career, I've been the only coach on the bench. I haven't been blessed with having somebody on the bench. At least Nick was there to kind of man the ship there the last period.
So, that's kind of interesting. And you bring up something else I wanted to ask you. And is it different by league? But if somebody gets ejected, like in baseball, for instance, like the manager has to go down the tunnel, cannot leave the clubhouse, right? Can't be in the tunnel, can't, watch the game or relay signals. I mean, they probably do, but,
Yeah.
What is there any place that they make you go, or do you just once you're out of the rink, you're out of the rink? You can hang out in the corner, watch through the glass. How does that work?
I don't know technically what the rule would be at this level, and even in ECHL, again, it doesn't happen a lot. And so I don't know if it's an actual rule. I will say I guess one time I was suspended. This is just going off a little off the topic here, but one time that happened. I was coaching the city high school hockey championship game before I started coaching pro. So this is like maybe 25 when I first got in there, and I got suspended because we took 15 penalties in the semifinals. So the coach gets an automatic suspension. So in the high school championship game, the head coach, me, is suspended. And I had an assistant coach that really didn't do much. And the other team, they were so worried that I was going to be able to get my coaching points across to my team. Like the security was watching where I was at. I wasn't allowed to be talking or sending signals. Of course, I was trying to.
Right.
I was trying to do different things, but I got warned several times throughout the game. I had security come up to me. So they were really watching me like a hawk, making sure I could do it. Now that was in a high school.
That's high school.
That was a high school championship game, but that was but I think in the ECHL, like I said, I went down to the Zamboni room, nothing where the Zamboni came out. And, again, I wasn't trying to get any signals or anything like that, but it was what it was. And then Nick, I watched the game on my phone, honestly, in Columbus, watched the third period and seen Patty, it was frustrating to see us give up that power play goal right away, and the problem was there was a delay on the feed. So as I'm watching the game, I hear the crowd erupt when they score that power play goal, and it hasn't hit yet on my phone. And right away, my gut's like, "Oh, this is not going to be good coming up here."
Yeah.
And then you see the goal, so it was a little bit of a lag. But again, for us, we got to flush it. I told the guys we have to get past this right away because these 3 games coming up, and I'm sure we're going to talk about those, are so meaningful to the way the season's going to go here for us that we just got to reset and kind of learn from our mistakes in this, understand that, we all got to be better, myself included, with our emotions and go from there.
Well, and I mean, it is going to be, home sweet, slightly dirty home coming up here. I mean, there's a lot of dirt still hanging in the building. And I'm sure a lot of folks in Florence maybe got a chance to check out the rodeo or the motocross. And but now that you're coming back here, here's another quirk of the schedule. This is it, right? I mean, it's like we're gone for a couple of weeks. We have this 3-game 3-3 homestand, and then we're out again for a couple of weeks. They take the ice back out, more events come in. So it's really, I mean, make hay while the sun shines at home this weekend.
Yeah, they're very important. We talked to the group about this. We'll talk to the captains, and when we get into our practices this week, we'll talk about it more. But the guys, we've had this circled on the calendar for a while, so it's more about. I feel bad for Rex and Tony and Vince and the whole crew here. This is when they did the schedule originally, it shouldn't be like this. It would have been better for us just to stay on the road. You should only have to do this once. So to see a whole crew in an arena have to turn this around this quick for 3 games and then have to do it all over again is very challenging. And I want the fans and the listeners to understand that and be patient with the guys. We have to be patient. This is a great deal that we have with the Florence Civic Center. I think ideally, these mistakes of the schedule won't happen next year once we kind of get these things corrected for next season's schedule. But we deal with it as it comes at us.
And that's another point. I mean, I think a lot of fans forget in their excitement, and maybe because of how really, to the outside observer, well things have gone, you forget this is a first-year franchise.
Yeah.
Still figuring a lot of stuff out behind the curtain.
Yeah, exactly. Not only from the hockey side of things, but the business side of things, and I think what I like about our owners is, and it's the same thing like I tell our guys and I tell the fan base, like, nobody's perfect. We're going to make mistakes. There's going to be mistakes in the scheduling and how fast we can do things and execute and stuff. But, the biggest thing is as long as you're learning from those mistakes and you come back better and stronger, just like our play on Saturday night. We just got to learn from this. This is back-to-back games. Our PK got the job done in Athens when we took all those penalties. Our PK did not get the job done against Columbus. Sometimes you can get away with it, and take a lot of penalties and still win a game, and other times you can't. More times than not, you won't. And that was the lesson that we had to learn. This is not a recipe for success consistently is taking a lot of penalties. So, we just have to stay disciplined. Carolina's a team that's a pretty disciplined team, and they could hurt you again. They got some very seasoned offensive guys on that team that will make you pay on the power play. So we gotta be disciplined this weekend.
Before we leave talking about Columbus entirely here, because I do want to talk a lot about Carolina, but I think back to that sequence in the second period that you were talking about, where you had the 5-on-3, you get the kill, then you get a couple of goals. And all of a sudden the game's tied, things are going your way. And I think to myself, man, there were even those shorthanded chances in there, those breakaways. How different would the game have been, And of course, there's no way to find out, but really, I mean, in a way, is that a positive you're taking out? Is like, hey, we really had them, and you pushed back real hard on Columbus, and had maybe you gotten a break?
Well, here's the thing. We did, again, we broke the puck out very well. We transitioned the puck very well. We outshot them. We outchanced them. But again, that's their power play, And again, we had two bad mistakes too that they capitalized on. But again, it's not like we didn't have our grade A chances. We just didn't capitalize on them, right? So, the two breakaways, and then even off of the one breakaway miss, Houston Wilson got the one-timer in the slot that Dom fed him for another great scoring chance. In the first period, Trevor Lord has a open net on a rebound on the power play and shoots it in his chest. I know he was frustrated with that. We had some good chances. 5-on-5, we were the better team. But again, that's where we always talk about special teams are huge, right? And, we had some power plays. We had a power play in the first period where we took a penalty, which is never good. You know what I'm saying? And, we didn't help ourselves. Honestly, we shot ourselves in the foot that game, from me to the team. We have to understand down the road here that, if another team's going to be better than us and they beat us, then so be it, But when we're doing things to make it harder on ourselves via penalties, via not executing, giving up grade A scoring chances when we're blowing assignments and stuff like that's on us.
Well, why don't we take a break? We'll come back here with more in just a moment with head coach Gary Graham. And when we return, we are going to talk about Twin City. It is a huge 3-3 coming up against the Thunderbirds. So stay tuned. More coming your way on IceCats Insider.
This sandwich, it's a complete game changer. Hello, this is Mike, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club is that juicy chicken with that toasty pretzel bun. From the first bite to the last bite, that bun, it's crispy, cozy, just amazing. With the pretzel bun, the Dijon mustard, and the chicken, you have those three things together, and it makes that sweet, savory kind of combination. It's everything that you love about food rolled into one. It looks phenomenal. It tastes great. It's delicious.
Real guest paid for their testimonial.
Dal Massimo Ristorante Italiano, where culinary passion meets the art of hospitality. Established in 2010, our restaurant was born out of a love for authentic flavors and a commitment to providing our guests with a memorable dining experience. At Dal Massimo, we believe that food is more than just sustenance. It's a celebration of culture and community. Whether you're here for a cozy dinner, a festive celebration, we look forward to serving you.
Gorget is a local craft distillery based in Lugoff, South Carolina, producing rum, vodka, whiskey, and bourbon in small batches. Founded in 2015 by 3 local gentlemen, Gorget has a fine line of handmade, local spirits. No matter what you desire, we have something for you. Isn't it about time you revolutionize your spirit? Visit us online at gorgetdistilling.com.
At the Law Office of W. James Hoffmeyer, we strive to help our clients in whatever situation they are facing. Whether you need help with criminal law, personal injury, or family law, our hard-working team will assist you throughout the process with compassion and integrity. Our goal is to always provide our clients with outstanding representation and advocacy throughout their case. The Law Office of W. James Hoffmeyer, serving South Carolina since 1992.
Get ready to savor the flavors of our long-standing family recipes bursting with authenticity and love. Indulge in the vibrant colors and aromas that create a fiesta for your senses with every bite. Your journey through our menu is a delicious adventure guided by tradition and the freshest ingredients Mother Earth has to offer. Come join us at 842 Woody Jones Boulevard in Florence. Order online at margaritasmexicanrestaurants.com. Margaritas, Experience the love in every bite.
McLeod Health is committed to helping you obtain a healthy lifestyle and improve your overall health. Medically trained in the areas of fitness and nutrition, we can help you reduce your risk for certain diseases and live a long, healthy life through fitness and wellness programs, community health education, and 2 medically based wellness centers. McLeod Health is with you on your journey to better health. Discover a new you at McLeod Health and Fitness Centers.
No matter which sport clips you walk into, you'll know it's special and just for you. Our stylists don't guess your best cut. They are experts in men's and boys' hair. Our cutting zone has all the basics and specialized equipment, from our comfortable cutting chairs to an array of specialized cutting tools and clippers. We got you covered. Visit Sport Clips of Florence today, located at 1940 Hoffmeyer Road, Suite D. We are the pros in men's hair.
Life happens on your floors, but when dirt, spills, and messes take over, it's time to call the experts. Stanley Steamer of Florence provides a deep cleaning technology that removes dirt and allergens, leaving your floors fresh and spotless. Breathe easier and enjoy a cleaner, healthier home with Stanley Steamer. Call or visit us online today. Stanley Steamer, your home deserves it.
For more than 85 years, Tomlinson Sales Company has proudly served customers across South and North Carolina. As a proud partner and the official outlet store of your PD IceCats, stop by to check out exclusive IceCats merchandise, plus an ever-changing inventory that makes Tomlinson a must-stop destination. Visit them at 1309 East Palmetto Street in Florence and discover the PD's hometown store. Tomlinson Sales Company, where great service, trusted brands, and community pride come together. That's Tomlinson Sales Company, 85 years strong and still serving the Carolinas. Welcome to Zapata's, your best choice for authentic Mexican food. Whether you want to stop by for brunch or bring your whole family in for Taco Tuesday, our restaurant offers excellent Mexican cuisine with premium ingredients and artful presentations made by our master chefs. 2 locations to serve you in Florence and in Hartsville. Order online at zapatasrest.com. Pata's Grill Mexican Restaurants. Good food, always fresh.
You're watching the IceCats Broadcast Network. This portion of today's broadcast is brought to you by Stanley Steamer. Stanley Steamer of Florence provides professional deep cleaning services and comprehensive care for a cleaner, healthier home. Butler's Men's Shop, your one-stop shop for men. Everything from tuxedos and suits to sportswear, we have it all. Integrative Health Solutions, your partners in health.
Welcome back here on IceCats Insider. Tom Callahan, head coach Gary Graham here with you, and thanks for joining us, everybody. Appreciate you being here as we're looking ahead now to the 3-3 coming up against the Twin City Thunderbirds. Gary, somebody's going home with a new truck this weekend, or a chance to win a new truck. That's going to be cool. So thanks to our area GMC dealers. That's on Valentine's Day. Would that not be for a guy? I mean, is that not the coolest thing on a Valentine's Day gift?
It would be. You know, most guys aren't used to getting gifts on Valentine's Day. It's more of a, I think it's more of a, usually a one-way directional type of thing. At least in my world it is, and a lot of my buddies' world it is. But could you imagine, you know, again, if you were a guy to win a truck? But again, ladies, if you're listening, you could also win a truck too. So
Correct.
kudos for you. So, you know, it's a great thing. Again, great sponsorship of ours, obviously. And again, it's a really cool, neat promo. Why don't you explain to me, because I don't know how you said possibly. So how's the contest work? Do you know?
So yes, crazy cousin Phil has filled me in.
Okay.
So Phil Bork, and I had to text him specifically too. So I said, Phil, tell me exactly how this is going to work, because I want to tell people how they got a shot at winning this truck. One person at random at the game on Valentine's Day. We're literally just going to pick somebody out of the crowd. So it could be any of our listeners.
Okay.
They're going to get a chance to shoot a puck into a target on the goal. And if they score a goal through the target, the hole in the target, they win the truck. It is that simple.
They just get one try?
They get one shot.
One shot. One shot, one person.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
So, and I know there's a lot of people who are going to be pessimistic about, Let me tell you something. So this is a fun story. When I was in Augusta in the East Coast League, we had a promotion like this. We were doing the same thing, giving away a car.
Yeah.
And so we hung a little board on the net, and we're at center ice, and me and our game ops guy are just, taking shots at it, and we're like hitting the board or lipping out or whatever.
Yeah.
One of our players comes out, Dan Sullivan, and he comes out to center. He's like, "What you guys doing?" They're like, "Oh, we're just testing out the board here." He's like, "Here, let me take a shot." And he just grabbed one of the sticks. Wasn't even his stick.
Yeah.
Grabs the stick, first shot, whoosh, right through.
Oh, man.
From the dotted center. Yeah. One shot, he walked off the ice. He's like, "I'm done here."
Yeah.
Like,
so it is possible.
It absolutely is possible. And I mean, it couldn't have been any more perfect. He just dimed it. It was awesome. So yeah, someone could win a 2026 GMC Sierra.
And what a great date night, right?
Yeah.
Great date night. Come to the Florence Center. Bring your significant other. It's going to be a good hockey game. Red's the special color. There should be blood on the ice. I would expect it's going to be a physical series. So it all ties in nicely.
Exactly. Here's, in my experience, Gary, let me know if you've had this similar. I've seen this happen repeatedly over the years. It is the guy who brings the girl to the first game, and the girl drags the guy back to every game after that because now she's hooked.
Yeah. Now you're selling tickets on our show. That's exactly correct.
Yes, that's how, I mean, you get hooked.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, you can go out to a nice dinner before or after, and it's fun entertainment. And the cool thing too is how many hockey games, and I know you've been around this longer than even I have, how many times you see somebody get proposed to on Valentine's Day at a hockey game. Countless times I've seen it in my career, whether we're on the road or at home or something like that. So you always wonder, will somebody talk to the old, what do you call him now, crazy cousin Phil?
Crazy cousin Phil.
About a potential somebody proposing on the big screen or something like that this weekend. You never know.
That's right. Temporary video boards in. Everybody will see it.
That's right.
That's right. So that could be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But be sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Be sure.
Be sure she's going to say yes. You got the dad and the mom's permission. You did it the classic Southern gentleman's way, right?
Yes, exactly. And also, I wanted to give them a plug because they were here today. Florence Foodies.
Yes.
Stop by.
And, finally got a chance to meet them.
Yeah, so I'm in the Facebook group, and I've talked about this before. I enjoy finding the cool local spots to eat and hang out and all that stuff, and I like to think that we're one of the new cool local spots to hang out as well. So
yeah,
but just wanted to give them a little bit of a plug if you haven't checked it out. There's a YouTube.
YouTube is where I always watch them, but then the YouTube usually gets shared across our pages, and I'm on his page, so he'll get tagged usually on my personal Facebook, and I'll watch his stuff. I enjoyed his thing last week. He did a good one with Parker Rutherford, and like I just told him up there, hopefully he'll do some more interviews. I know Nick and I will do one eventually with them, but I told him, I said, hey, you want to talk to any of my guys? The guys would love to come on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty cool. So, and by the way, if anybody's listening in the Florence community and you're wondering, hey, how can I kind of partner with you guys or reach out to us. Absolutely. Go to pdprohockey.com is the easiest way to find the contact info. So just head on over there. Okay. I didn't want to get too far off the beaten path, but it's fun to talk about that stuff. And by the way, Friday night's education night, Sunday's Faith and Family Day, 3:15 p.m. And if you have a faith-based group you want to bring out for group tickets, email tickets@pdprohockey.com. Also manned by Crazy Cousin Phil. So he does a lot of things.
When did this nickname start?
It just, what?
Because you guys called Scotty Uncle Scotty.
Uncle Scotty.
And then so now we're nicknamed. So does that mean, what am I? Am I Uncle Gary? Are you Uncle Tom? Or what are we all getting something?
I think we should avoid that one in the South.
Is it Aunt Brandy?
Aunt Brandy.
Like, are we all getting family nicknames or something?
Somebody just dropped that one on him in the chat one time, and I just loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. I'm like, because it really encapsulates Phil.
The funny thing is
well.
one of my nicknames with hockey guys back home is Granny. Not because I was a slow hockey player, but just with my last name being Graham, Grandma, Granny. You know what I'm saying? So I could be Granny, I guess. You could be Uncle.
Yeah. Okay.
I think you're Uncle.
Well, so we got Cousin Phil, we got Granny, we got
we gotta give Nick one.
Yeah. Oh, we'll have to figure one out for him too. He's like the Cousin Eddie.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I love it. All right, so Twin City coming in for all three of these games that we just talked about. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. First of all, 3-3 is never easy against anybody. I don't care who the opponent is, but especially when it is the team you are battling in the standings. Now we're talking multiple point swings one way or the other.
Yeah, it's setting up for a monster. I mean, it's basically a typical playoff series, other than you'd be going, home away home, or vice versa, depending on who you were playing or something like that. So, that one time we played Danbury, at least there was a break, right? It was a Wednesday, Friday, Saturday thing. But this is going to be, how you handle your roster, how do you keep things fresh, how do you adjust in between games, period to period, but also game to game. You're going to see it'll be a big chess match, and Harry's a heck of a coach. There's a reason that those guys have represented our division in the finals the last 3 years. He knows what he's doing. And, the biggest thing is they're playing their best hockey of the year right now. And obviously we're disappointed with our game in Columbus, but, we've been playing better hockey as of late too. So, and it's been a while since we've both seen each other. Both teams have very different looking rosters too. So it should be interesting.
That's the other thing. And I mean, you guys obviously are always trying to continuously improve, but so were they, because they really had a disappointing start. So the impetus was there for Twin City to try to get back to, as you say, 3 years in a row, you represent this division in the final. Not so much to start this year. That's pretty disappointing to them, their fan base, front office.
Yeah, it is, because I've been in those situations, like in Fort Wayne, when you have a winning product every year and you're consistently a contender. When you have a start to a season like that, it's not characteristic of them, and they were in a lot of low scoring overtime games, coin flip games, kind of like we were a lot too in the beginning of the season. Could win, might just be a one play away from winning the game type of thing. But the recent additions that they've been making to their team, they're a lot more dynamic. Of course, their strength has been, Babic has been outstanding this year. I mean, there's been countless games where he's had 50 shots on him, and he's just absolutely been a brick wall. So, trying to get him solved is a big thing for us. When we've struggled against them this year, he's been a big part of their success. And we had more success against Skinner when he was in net before he got called up to Macon. And so we'll see a heavy dose of Babic this weekend, and, definitely got to be ready to go, make it difficult on him.
Well, I mean, in terms of solving difficult goaltenders, McPhail was a guy that I think we struggled with in the beginning, and then last time out, you made him look human.
Yeah, we're finally getting a little bit more confidence, offensively against them. But, Twin City plays a different style of game. But again, their forward group is kind of like Columbus. They're an older group. You got guys like Gus Ford and Kramer and these guys and Whitey that are older guys, and they just know how to do it. If you give them time and space, they will make Salak. I mean, these guys have been around the league. They're older players, and they know how to make you pay. And it's like, they might not be as fast as maybe some of the younger dynamic guys in the league, but the problem is that you give them any type of, space on the ice, it's in the back of your net. And we've seen that this year. Ford and Whitey have had big games against us. And, of course, Jacob Schnapp, he brings a different dynamic to their team when he's in the lineup, that physical kind of edge type of play. So it's going to be a good series. Like I said, their team looks a lot different than when we've seen them last, but you better be prepared to shut down the Gus Ford line and the Kramer and the White and the Slock. I mean, those guys, we didn't do a good job. We knew Barrow had the hot stick, and we still allowed Barrow to have 3 goals against us over the weekend. You have to be aware of the guys on the other side of the ice that you got to shut down, and we got to shut them guys down.
How is it different preparing for, because obviously if you're Gus Ford, you've definitely lost a step, right? As you've gotten older. Salak has lost a step, but the intelligence increases, right? And the sense of how to play the game and where to be and find that time and space, if you're going to survive and keep playing, has to get better. How do you defend against that?
I think I would disagree with you on the fact that they've slowed down. I can see where you would see that, but the thing is, they play what I like to call such a controlled game, because they play so much. Gus Ford's an older guy, but the reason he looks like he's slower out there sometimes is he's kind of reminds me of the way Patrice Bergeron, I'm a Boston Bruins fan, played the game of hockey as a centerman. He's just very patient, and he's waiting for his time. Conserving energy. Some guys overwork, when they don't have to. He's very smart in his approach, especially when he's in D zone coverage, to when to work, when not to work. So he's kind of conserving that energy tank. So when he gets that puck, boom, all of a sudden he's gone, and he can then find the open ice. And then he does a really good job, that whole team through the neutral zone, is that if you're not playing tight on them, they do a very good job of what I like to call get east-west, and they delay. And what they do is they back off the defenseman off the line. And then they're able to make these really nice little plays inside the blue line once they get the blue line, because they've essentially backed the D off the line there. And that's when they're really at their best, when they can make those plays and hit those late D that are activating in the rush and stuff like that. So, I just have a lot of respect for their team, because, again, anytime you see a team like that with a veteran coach that has had the success that they've had, and the desperation and the expectation that's in that room, because, again, when you've had the expectation to win and the culture in that room, that's a dangerous team, because, they know what's on the line, this weekend. We're a new team, and we're trying to get that identity ourselves in our room, which we're getting week by week by playing better hockey. But that's kind of our message this week with the captains into our room, Tommy, is that, listen, we want what these guys have had, to be the dominant team in our division. Like that's who, I don't care where they're at in the standings. That has been them. They've earned that right the last 3 seasons. We need to respect them as such and try to take that away from them.
We're going to take another break here on IceCats Insider, and stay tuned, because in the break, we're going to have Joanne Bethays look back at Military Night, so stay tuned for that as well. And then we will also return, and we'll wrap things up here with head coach Gary Graham. More coming your way in just a moment.
But we back. Let's go. Out in London, that's my team. Slide through streets, help boxing beans. In the streets, the life get crazy. Falling asleep, my eye get lazy. Ain't God on my side, it's forever. Don't come run if you dance with the devil. Ain't even through the rainy weather. Me and the brother, we stick together.
Don't know if I'm red or blue like Manchester. 12 my boon that the phone up Leicester. Men got too many bars like a cliff. Tofi and Tommy, we doing it diff. Had to medicate, roll up a spliff. Ganja stink, I can't even sniff.
Open the scat with a wristlet diff. Funny banter instead of...
In the heart of Florence, South Carolina, discover Palmetto Smiles, where artistry meets advanced dental care, led by Dr. Brian Sang. Dr. Sang is a highly trained implant and cosmetic dentist, dedicated to transforming smiles with advanced techniques. He's committed to continuing education and bringing the latest methods to every patient. At Palmetto Smiles, comprehensive dentistry is under one roof: general care, restorative solutions, TMJ therapy, delivered with compassion. Ready for a healthier, more beautiful smile? Call 843-203-5155 or visit palmettosmiles.com. Dr. Brian Sang and his team can't wait to welcome you.
Ding dong.
Mountain Dude?
The mountain's calling.
Give me a mountain, lots to do. Give me the sunshine, give me a dew. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and that cool, refreshing mountain dew. Yeah, give me the sunshine, give me a dew.
Looking to score big with your printing? M&M Printing and Graphics is your hometown team. From flyers, business cards and posters, to vinyl graphics, banners, and outdoor signage, we do it all. Whether you're promoting your business, cheering on your team, or bringing your brand to life, we've got the players and the skills to make it happen. Visit mmpg.us or call 843-662-2412. M&M Printing and Graphics, the official printer of the PD IceCats.
The PD IceCats are lighting up the scoreboard, and Powers Properties is proud to be the official housing provider. Looking for an apartment? Powers Properties has you covered with modern apartments, convenient locations, and a team that puts you first. Just like the IceCats, we know what it takes to win, on and off the ice. Score big with Powers Properties. Relax, you are home.
Known for his integrity, attention to detail, and client-first approach, Sean Austin builds lasting relationships based on trust and results. Whether you're a first-time homebuyer, a seasoned investor, or looking to sell your current home, Sean combines local expertise with strong negotiation skills to deliver a seamless experience from start to finish. Austin and Associates at RE/MAX Professionals. Your next address is just a slap shot away. Go IceCats!
Welcome to Seminar Brewing, where craft beer meets culinary delight. Located at 551 West Lucas Street in the heart of Florence, we offer an unforgettable experience for beer enthusiasts and food lovers alike. Pair your favorite brew with our mouth-watering menu. Our kitchen serves up everything from savory snacks to hearty meals, all crafted to complement our beers perfectly. Seminar Brewing. Taste the difference that local passion makes.
Southco Commercial Curb Appeal is the trusted partner for businesses in Florence and surrounding areas that want to maintain a clean, safe, and attractive commercial properties. With our wide range of services, from sweeping and landscaping to snow and ice treatment, we're here to ensure your property remains in pristine condition all year long. Southco Commercial Curb Appeal. Experience the difference.
On behalf of the IceCats and our nation, thank you for what you do for our freedom.
Why is saying thank you to the military so important to the IceCats? Well, when you have two owners who are veterans, you can't help but feel the gratitude in the air.
Being a part of this night, this is, for me, it's everything. Because I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for the military. So this night, being able to have the veterans here play, being able to have the veterans on the ice and carry out the American flag, it means everything to me.
I'm at a loss for words because I'm almost at tears. I'm seeing we just got done skating with 50 veterans. I've got Military Night, Chick-fil-A, news station sponsoring it. I love when the community rallies around the team and rallies around the veterans. It made me tear up. I'm so thankful to everyone.
But the military ties don't stop there. PD IceCats owner Mike Ronan's wife, Olivia, has her own unique ties to the military.
My husband and I, we have been entrepreneurs, business owners, and he looked at me and he said, "You followed me around. You've done everything for me. What do you want to do?" And I said, "I want to be a Marine."
So how does one pull off a historic night in Florence, South Carolina? Well, getting help from the community, of course.
So yesterday on Friday, we were here from 2 o'clock to 8 o'clock. We were doing live shots with them. We got these really cool jerseys made. Yeah, absolutely. Got these really cool jerseys made. We're one of the presenting sponsors, so it's really cool. We as much as we can be involved with this team moving forward, we want to do. It's kind of what sports does. It brings a lot of people together.
IceCats hockey, specifically.
And to see a sport that's had so much success here in the past be successful again is really cool.
There would be no Chick-fil-A, there would be no anything if we didn't have our troops to provide freedom and safety for us. So we were looking for something for that, and when we saw that Military Night was an option with the IceCats partnership, we decided to make that ours.
So just how historic was it? Well, I'll let our PA Chris tell you.
The FBHL single game attendance record for the 2025-2026 with a crowd of 7,837.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a league record.
That is a lot.
So thank you, IceCats Nation. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for making hockey something great again in Florence, South Carolina, and for making it something so special. But don't just take my word for it.
As a kid from Indiana, I didn't think hockey would be cool to be at. It is. It's cool. Make sure you come here. It's awesome. You don't want to miss it. This is something that's growing, and you're going to want to be a part of it, so make sure you come out.
You're watching the IceCats Broadcast Network. This portion of today's broadcast is brought to you by Evening Shade Incorporated. Trusted team with over 2 decades of experience. Borgett Distilling Company. Revolutionize your spirit. The Law Office of W. James Hoffmeyer. Serving South Carolina since 1992. Kimbrell's Furniture. Affordable home furnishings.
All right, back here to wrap things up on IceCats Insider. Tom Callahan, head coach Gary Graham. Gary, you mentioned the word identity before the break, and I want to talk to you about that. When you come into a new team and you're building things, obviously from training camp forward, you come in with a plan. You know what you're looking for and how you're going to get there, and obviously we've seen roster adjustments, trades, all that fun stuff along the way. But has your idea changed from camp? Has it evolved based around whether it's personnel, other outside factors? Talk about the development of your idea of this team's identity.
Well, that's a loaded question on multiple fronts, but again, as a coach, we don't really change your identity. I think I had to have a flexible approach with so many new guys from so many different programs early on in the season. We really wanted to see, we kind of split the season up into thirds, right? In that first third of the season, we wanted to see really what we had, if we could play the fast tempo north south type of game that we wanted to play, and I felt like we didn't have the personnel to play that aggressive forecheck that I wanted to play. That's why we made some moves. And frankly, now we have more speed up front on our forecheck than what we had at the beginning of the season, which is great because we want to be a team that can forecheck well. I think you probably noticed over the last month, our forecheck has caused a lot more turnovers, a lot more chaos. And we've been able to be more aggressive even on our neutral zone check because we have a better skating group than what we had. So that's definitely something that has changed and evolved. We are more of a patient kind of 1-2-2 team where now we have the personnel to kind of trust them to be a little bit more aggressive. And the team likes that. And so, we're going to keep sticking with that. I think, we've gotten a little bit bigger too, in certain areas. We brought in some more experience back there. We brought in some better puck moving defensemen back there with the addition of Dom Del Savita, and then of course Xavier Abdella, that's won a championship. Got a good pedigree, a shutdown defensive defenseman, knows how to play the game the right way. So the moves that we made has definitely allowed us to play more of that aggressive style that I like to play. And then, of course, the puck possession is a big part of what I like to do is to control the puck. And bringing guys in like Lakoff, that's a puck control type of guy. A Dennis Zajac that can win you those faceoffs where you start with the puck more, which lends to the puck possession mindset. Early in the season, we weren't winning enough draws, so we weren't able to play that style that I like to play. So those are the type of things. Moving Gullo to center. Gullo's been very good on the faceoff dot. Hence, we're starting with the puck more. We're able to play more possession hockey. So all these things have kind of tied in together. And of course, now it's been a different type. We've had different goalies in that this year, but obviously, we have confidence in basically Matt Sales that's called up, Kuhn and Parks. Obviously, Parks has been tremendous for us, and we got to be better in front of him. I think he probably want to have a couple of those goals back the other night, but he's such a competitor. We got to be better too in front of him, right? Take less penalties, like we talked about earlier in the segment. So, overall, to answer your full question is yes, we have now the team that I feel that can do what we want to do, and that's defend from the middle out and then also be aggressive on the forecheck.
What's the most important thing you look for in a player to fit in that system? Is it the mental side, the physical side? Is it both? What do you need to have out of a guy?
Skating is the main thing. Skating is a big thing for me. It's just the game, even from D to forwards anymore, you have to be able to skate north-south. You got to be able to get up on the forecheck, take away time and space. We want to be a team, again, that's quick to check, that's quick to anticipate, and being good stop and start skating, being good tracking team on the back check, being up ice on the forecheck, on the neutral zone check. Everything's based on the work away from the puck. And the more we work away from the puck, the more that we have the puck, and that's getting them to slowly buy into that and understand that has been the biggest challenge for me all year. But now they're starting to have more success with that. I think it's starting to sink in more now, and the captains are doing a better job too of making sure that message gets resonated through the room.
So now, kind of drawing it all back to the where we are now, middle of February, regular season. You basically have another 2 months, and moving forward, do you see this team still needing adjustments on the roster, or do you think, okay, I have the horses, now I can make a run with it, or injuries accepted, of course. Yep. Things happen or whatever, or, loans, all that kind of stuff. Are you happy with where you're at now?
Yeah, we're happy with where we're at. But, again, colleges are going to start coming available now. And, when those free agents start becoming available, we're always going to be constantly evaluating our team and looking to improve it. And, now again, with that being said, if you got a group of guys that can start putting and stringing along together consistent, if you're going to win 6, 7 out of every 10 games, you're not going to be looking as much at the college recruits, right? So, I always tell the guys, our job in the front office here and coaches and Nick and director of hockey ops is to constantly be putting our team in the best situation to win hockey games. That's why I'm disgusted with myself about myself on Saturday night's game, taking 2 penalties and getting kicked out, because my job is supposed to be to get these guys to the best spot to win hockey games, whether that's coaching X's and O's or whether it's personnel or who I'm putting on the ice. So, but again, if the guys are executing, they're bought in, and they're working their butts off, they're pretty safe.
So, talking a little bit about the rules, I think this is a good time to refresh people on this. It's up to, I believe, 5 now players that you could bring in from either junior or college, and for them to be playoff eligible, they have to appear in 5 games. Is that correct?
Correct.
So within that, how do you figure out if you do see a player or 2 or 5 that you want to get in here? What is the strategy for accomplishing that? Because 5 kind of sounds like a little, but it also sounds like a lot when you've only got 2 months left.
Yeah, I mean, again, you're going to look at guys. Also, just so the listeners understand, is that you can also protect those guys too. So you might bring them in, but you might be able to also protect their rights in for next year. So, you're also always looking at making your team better, but also you're always looking to build for the future and try to lock down certain guys' rights if you really like them too. So there's a thought process that goes into that. This is going to be my first year dealing with this league. That's a different rule than the SPHL does and the ECHL does. Supposedly, because there's no PTOs in this league, those 5 guys, those college guys, actually don't count towards your roster spots. So then you're looking at, as an organization, do we have enough beds and housing to even have those type of guys? Because that's additional cost for our owners, and they might not want to take on some of those costs. You can, but you don't have to, right? And so I can see us taking a look at a couple guys. I don't know about 5 guys, but we're not just going to be bringing guys in willy-nilly on coin flips. It's got to be a sure thing. Like and that's where, we're always doing video. Monday's recruiting day in here. So we've already been looking at film on college guys that we've already had profiled, watching them, saying, okay, is this guy really is he good enough to play at this level? Is it a for sure thing, this guy, or is he going to be a coin flip? If it's a coin flip and our guys are getting a job done, you're just going to stick with your guys.
And this is where your network comes into play and Nick Graham's network comes into play, right? I mean, it's a lot of just working the vines here.
Oh yeah. And fortunately for me, because I've been blessed to move so many guys up and treat guys the right way and promote guys, agents love sending me players because they know I'm going to treat the guys right. They're going to get coached. They're going to be taken care of. But most importantly is that I'm always going to do right by the player. Again, it got me fired last year in Pensacola, if that tells you anything. So I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to promote guys and treat guys the right way. So the good news is I believe in hockey karma. When you do that, usually you're going to get it back in spades one way or the other, where you don't know where it's going to come from, but we'll get some very good leads on some college guys, rest assured that.
And it's also about building the culture here, both on and off the ice as well.
For sure. And you got to keep your group accountable, right? Like you got to keep them hungry down the stretch. When you get in the dog days of February and March, sometimes, guys can start, getting lackadaisical. We can't afford that. I mean, down the stretch, because of our start, we have to be laser locked in and understand, like, we know how hard our schedule is. I mean, every single team that we play down the stretch is a playoff team, every single one of them. And so every game is a playoff game, essentially. And we just have to have that mindset.
That's really holding. Yeah, it's your going through fire test.
Yeah,
it's
listen. If we make the playoffs, we've earned our way into the playoffs, and that's what you want to do. You don't want to back your way into the playoffs or something like that. We're going to have to earn it the old school way, and that's by controlling what we control, which is the body of work that we put on the ice in front of us.
The other thing too, I think it's important to point out for fans is that, yeah, if you're an NHL fan, you know this if you've been paying attention for the last 10, 15 years. But if you get in, you've got a chance.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you take a look at Columbus last year. I mean, everybody thought Athens was going to run away with it last year, and they get upset in the first round. And, and then Carolina beats Columbus, and then it ends up being, once again, bingo and Carolina in the finals again last year. So, yeah, you're 100% right. I mean, you just got to get in. I always tell everybody my first year in Fort Wayne, we the year before, they were the second to last place team in the ECHL. We punched our ticket my first year in Fort Wayne into the playoffs by beating Wheeling on a Sunday on the 72nd game of the season. Punched our way, became the 8th seed. We played the defending champs, the Reading Royals, with 15 NHL contracts in the first round and almost swept them. Beat them 4-1. Nobody ever would have expected it. First time an 8 seed had ever beat a 1 seed in the 27 years at that time of ECHL history. It can be done.
And it's something I think to look forward to for the fans. And I was on that Columbus team last year that unexpectedly beat Athens. So I watched it happen, and I thought, you know what? In the course of that series, it wasn't every single moment of every game, but it was the little stuff along the way. And I feel like that's why it's so important to get the shutout win over Binghamton. It's so important to get the big win in Athens on Friday night, because all those little moments compound and they build, and then eventually somehow they just manage to show up in your game in March and April.
100%. You start learning how to win games, critical games, the right way, which is number one for us. It has to start with discipline. We got to start being more disciplined. Like, we're not going nowhere if we keep taking 7, 8, 9 penalties a game. Like, we have to understand that. And then, of course, the shot blocks, the finishing checks, the buy-in, the back check, the protecting the slot, all these little things that they're not the sexy stats, Tom. It's what I like to call the intangibles of sticking up for one another. Those things make a team tight. And the best thing about this group is they become a lot more tighter as a team with all the new guys. They've got to know each other. They've been on the road. You know this. We've barely been in our houses the last month, and it's going to get worse here over the next 3 weeks. It seems like too. Just so it's getting a team tighter, and when they want to play hard for one another, that's usually when you can start doing special things.
I know the feeling. I went grocery shopping the other day without looking in my fridge first, and I came back and I'm like, oh, wait, I had food from before. I didn't even think about it. I just went out and bought groceries. Whoops. So it'll be nice to be home for a little while, sleep in your own bed.
Yes, yep. But again, off tomorrow to Wilmington, we go for practice. No practice on today or Wednesday, and then Thursday, hopefully we have ice here. So it's still, again, it's a tricky week for us. We have 3 games, but the time that we do get to practice this week is going to be very critical for us to get ready for these games.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Gary, it's been another great week. Great chatting with you. We appreciate you joining us.
All right. Thanks, Tom.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of IceCats Insider. We are here every single Monday night on YouTube and on Cumulus Radio. Thanks for joining us, everybody. And we will see you on Friday night, Twin City, in town, 7:15 puck drop. And hope you can join us the entire weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday against the Thunderbirds. All right, everybody, this is Tom Callahan saying thanks and good night.
What's up, Ice Cats? We are here to bring you a brand new segment called A Pro with Joe, where we are going to get to know the Ice Cats more than just being hockey players. And today, our first guy is Houston Wilson. I am Joanne Bethay, so let's get started. First, how did you get started being a hockey player?
So I first got started being a hockey player. Actually, my parents never played,
okay.
But my mom signed my brother and I up. I'm a twin too, so the twin line, we have the Marston Cavers twins, but I'm a twin as well. So, my dad was actually deployed in Iraq with the military and the army, and it was just me, my mom, and my brother, and she just saw learn to play hockey for free, which is pretty rare in itself, and she just signed us up, and here I am. Look out. Look out.
No, you're the pro. I'm not the pro. Learning how to skate still. So you mentioned that you are a twin.
Yeah.
Where is your twin brother? What is he up to these days?
So he lives back in Richmond, Virginia. He works at a little hospital, helping out, just taking care of any needs the patients need or doctors, anything like that. So he's a helping hand.
Okay, awesome. So how is it that you ended up being the hockey player continuing the career and he decided not to?
Well, he was actually a really good player in himself. He was a goalie. He played up through junior hockey. He played actually a little bit of professional roller hockey, and he was really good. That was kind of his lane. And but no, I had a little different route than he did. I went through the prep school route, junior hockey, college hockey at Stevenson University, and then it's my 5th year as a pro now. So
awesome. So outside of hockey, what would you say is your favorite sport?
Outside of hockey, I would probably say probably football.
Football? Do you have a
close basketball, but I'd say football.
Do you have a pro team?
Of course, my Philadelphia Eagles. Oh, look out.
We're gonna have a lot of supers in this one. The Eagles?
Yeah, my Philadelphia Eagles, defending Super Bowl champs. That's my team.
Okay, so next, favorite food. What's your favorite food?
Favorite food. It's a good one. Favorite food. I'm gonna have to say probably. I feel like I can never go wrong with like some Japanese hibachi.
Is that your pregame meal?
No, actually, okay. Here's a good one. I love salmon. Salmon.
I
that's
do
a
love
big-
salmon.
that's
Salmon on a
big-
Caesar salad.
Okay.
That is like my
I'm just like
jam.
salmon, some rice, maybe a little mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes with salmon.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's your pregame meal.
Yeah, that's usually my pregame, I would say. Either night before or sometimes day of.
Okay. Staying on the food topic, do you have a favorite dessert?
Favorite dessert, ice cream.
Ice cream.
Ice cream. Oh, yeah.
Give us your favorite flavor.
Vanilla.
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 You're kidding me.
Fire.
Do you put anything on your vanilla ice cream? Like sprinkles, chocolate?
No, we don't need all that. Just give me
Okay,
some good,
we're a simple
crisp
man.
vanilla, like
Do you have a favorite?
Haagen-Dazs.
Haagen-Dazs. Okay, that is
Haagen-
good.
that's good.
Haagen-Dazs
That's
does
good.
have good
Yeah.
ice cream.
Yep.
So outside of hockey or watching football, do you have any other hobbies that you like to do?
Let's see. I mean, I like to be outside. I like to play video games. I'll do anything really. You know, I'm someone that actually likes to try new things.
Oh, okay.
I would say I like to try new things. I've been a lot of different places, so I think that's one thing that I've acquired over my experience of just being open to try new things.
So
wherever I am.
where is your favorite place that you've been?
Oh.
I know that's probably a hard question, but where's your favorite place that you've been?
I would say Florence, South Carolina, the PD. I love this place.
You heard it here first, folks. Florence, South Carolina is the destination to be.
Oh yeah.
Okay, last but not least,
Okay.
do you have any words for the IceCats, for the nation?
Let's have a great 2026. You know, it's only up from here. We're still building every single day, trying to get better each and every day. And I just can't wait to see what we do for the rest of the season.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Houston. And IceCats, this is Pro with Joe with Houston Wilson and Joanne Buffet. And hope you have a great day.
Hey, grab me one too.
For 20 years, we've captured more than weddings, we've captured legacies. The laughter, the tears, the moments that last a lifetime. Every glance, every vow, every I do, preserved in stunning cinematic detail. Because your love story deserves more than memories, it deserves to be a film that lives forever. Something to remember wedding productions. 2 decades of love stories, beautifully told.
This sandwich, it's a complete game changer. Hello, this is Mike, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club is that juicy chicken with that toasty pretzel bun. From the first bite to the last bite, that bun, it's crispy, cozy, just amazing. With the pretzel bun, the Dijon mustard, and the chicken, you have those 3 things together, and it makes that sweet, savory kind of combination. It's everything that you love about food rolled into one. It looks phenomenal. It tastes great. It's delicious.
Real guests paid for their testimonial.
Gorget is a local craft distillery based in Lugoff, South Carolina, producing rum, vodka, whiskey, and bourbon in small batches. Founded in 2015 by 3 local gentlemen, Gorget has a fine line of handmade, local spirits. No matter what you desire, we have something for you. Isn't it about time you revolutionize your spirit? Visit us online at gorgetdistilling.com.
Southco Commercial Curb Appeal is the trusted partner for businesses in Florence and surrounding areas that want to maintain a clean, safe, and attractive commercial properties. With our wide range of services, from sweeping and landscaping to snow and ice treatment, we're here to ensure your property remains in pristine condition all year long. Southco Commercial Curb Appeal. Experience the difference.
We back. Let's go. Out in London, that's my ting. Slide through streets, help boxing beans. In the streets, the life get crazy. Falling asleep, my eye get lazy. Ain't God on my side, it's forever. Don't come run if you dance with the devil. Ain't even through the rainy weather. Me and the brother, we stick together.
Don't know if I'm red or blue like Manchester. 12 on my bone that the phone up Leicester. Men got too many bars like a cliff. Tofi and Tommy, we doing it diff. Had to medicate, roll up a spliff. Ganja stank, I can't even sniff.
Open the scat with a wristlet diff.
funny Benton instead of.
You're watching the IceCats Broadcast Network. This portion of today's broadcast is brought to you by Margarita's Mexican Restaurant, where every dish is a celebration of taste. Tomlinson Sales. Get your PD IceCat apparel here. 7 locations to serve you. Something to Remember Wedding Productions. 2 decades of love stories, beautifully told. And the official video graphic designer for the PD IceCats.